Welcome back. We're currently taking a wander around Ymir here. With Reen. We haven't been here since Cold Steel 2, have we? Been a long while. Anyway, you two. How do I get to you two? There. How are Musse and Altina doing? Enjoying the footbath, you two? We certainly are. It must be wonderful having a place like this in the middle of your village. It's one of Ymir's biggest selling points, to be sure. If you don't mind, I think I might join you. I genuinely thought he hadn't taken off his shoes then. This really warms you up. It truly does. I can feel all my fatigue just fading away, too. It's strange how effective it is, given how little of your body is actually inside of it. It's because of the blood pumping around the body. So, what were the two of you talking about before I came over? You, actually. Me? Specifically, we were talking about that power of yours. The curse's influence completely disappeared as a result of the final rivalry. But your specific power still remains, correct? Yeah. The seed that originally gave it to me is gone, but the power itself has developed to the point where it's essentially its own thing now. Want to keep an eye on that. Oh, but there's no need to worry. I've got it largely under control now. Largely. Largely implies that there's still the possibility you may lose control of it. Thank you, Musse. Because that's worrying. I can't deny that, but I'm devoting myself to making sure it doesn't happen. It isn't that we don't trust you. We simply don't trust your unfortunate habit of choosing to sacrifice yourself at the drop of a hat. That is true, yeah. I heard that the first time you lost control of your power was here in Ymir, because you were trying to protect Elise from a ferocious monster on the path behind the village. Found out about that, huh? Still, I'm afraid that's just who I am. I can't promise that I won't endanger myself for those I care about. Again. And Elise isn't the only one that's true for. Your perspective is logical in theory, but those who make such sacrifices don't understand just how painful they can be for those they mean to protect, especially when they leave you completely alone. It's okay, she's back now. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring that up. Besides, she came back in the end, so I have plenty of time to punish her for what she did. Oh. I'm sure you mean thank her for what she did. Incorrect.
Anyway, I want you to keep watching over me, Instructor. There's still so much I have to learn from you, so I won't let you just disappear. I won't let you leave me.
Triple dot. I won't leave you. Don't worry. On a not entirely dissimilar note, when will we be going on the date you promised me, Instructor? Wait, what date? This is the first I am hearing of this. Because I never promised anything like that. I can't believe you would simply forget. You agreed to it before our exams last month. Is this a flashback? Did he agree? Summer's time for the end of term exams. It's been a wild year, but I want each of you to prepare properly so you can show off the results of all your hard work. You in particular, Musse. There's no need to hide your talents anymore. I want you to give this everything you've got. Instructor, that's a tough ask. But if you promise to give me a reward, I might be able to make that happen. You really are a handful. But let's see. If you manage to take the #1 spot on the combined rankings with the main campus, I'll happily treat you to a meal. Not exactly a date, but... Sure enough, she placed at the top of the rankings without breaking a sweat. Ada must have been furious at placing second. What can I say? Love triumphs over all.
So, I did what I promised I would, Instructor. Don't you think I deserve a word of praise for my accomplishments?
Can't argue with that. Your motives are worth a raised eyebrow, but you did really well. So, well done, Musse. I'm proud of you.
You have no idea how it makes me feel to hear you say that.
And I suppose a promise is a promise. When we're done here in Ymir, I'll make time for us to go out for our meal. Is that acceptable? Yay! I can hardly wait to spend a whole day with you and get dinner at the end. You're pretending to mishear me on purpose, aren't you? Those exams were a small price to pay to go on a date with the man of my dreams. I can place in any position you desire, from the top again all the way down to the bottom. You can deliberately rank bottom? Well, luck would factor into that one, so I would have to say bottom 3 to be certain. It's like competing against someone playing by entirely different rules. Coming in here has gotten rid of my physical fatigue, but my mental fatigue has really jumped up to take its place. I think I'm going to get out. What about you two? We'll stay in here a little longer. We still have the issue of your obsession with your sister to discuss. Oh dear, now I'm really leaving. Oh dear, let's speak to them again though. I enjoy the foot bath in town too, but there's nothing like the open-air baths at the Phoenix Wings. I encourage both of you to try them out. Yes, you've spoken highly of them before. I will certainly remember to pay them a visit. Oh my, are you inviting us to a mixed bath, instructor? In that case, I'll have to get the timing right so it's just the two of us. That is absolutely not what I'm doing. Oh dear. I feel myself warming up already. Given the leeway, I'd likely stay here all day. The view from here is really nice. Right, same again. So this is where you and your sister grew up together, is it? It's no wonder you two turned out to be such kind-hearted siblings. And we'll assume because of Altina that we don't need to speak to her again. Head to the footbath. Ah, my feet are so warm. Wait, did I take off my socks? Ah well. Ah well. Are we gonna get out of this scene? Like, come on. Do I turbo it? We have been turboed! There we go. The footbath's soothing waters restored the team's HP, EP, CP, and BP to maximum, and fully charged the assault gauge. Oh, didn't know. Right, so who we got around here then? Hey there, Luke. Thanks for running the cable car to bring us all up here. It's my pleasure. We're all glad to have you back home. It's been a long half a year without you around. How long are you planning on staying this time? I'm actually not sure myself. Major Claire was the one who made all the arrangements for this trip. Oh, odd that she wouldn't tell you. But well, I'm sure she has her reasons. She did so much for us during the Civil War. I know you can trust her. In fact, I should go and greet her myself. Clearly time hasn't made you any less kind-hearted. As far as I'm concerned, my job is all about making sure everyone who comes to Ymir has fun. So I want you and the others to be able to kick back and relax while you're here. If there's anything you need from me, you just let me know. I will. Thanks, Luke. Ah, good guy, Luke. Right. Good. What's going on down here? The scenery here truly is spectacular. It sure is. I've lived here most of my life and I'm still not tired of it. It's just a shame it doesn't last all year. Once the snow's gone, that's it. Still, I'm sure it's just replaced by the equally unique beauty of another season. Oh, indeed. You're not wrong there. You're more than welcome to visit again in another season if you want to see it. I'd like that very much. Did you once practice your swordsmanship here? Sort of. It was further up the mountain, to be specific. Master Kafai and I spent a month living out in the wilderness, while he trained me intensively. Interesting. I've heard the Arcade school does a similar thing. Perhaps it's an Eastern manner of training that the Arcades later adopted. It's true that Eastern martial arts emphasize becoming one with nature, but I think in my case it was just because Master Kafai believed it to be effective. Securing food to eat and a place to sleep every day was hard enough, but sometimes he would even set monsters on me. Thinking back, I had to do some crazy stuff to make it through in one piece. And you're a glutton for punishment. I shudder to think of what you must have gone through. Ouch. Is that how you see me? Forgive me. I didn't mean for it to come across quite so rudely. Still, perhaps I should try training in the mountains myself. I apologize if I'm assuming wrongly here, but are you feeling frustrated with your progress? Oh no, I'm not. Triple dot. No. I suppose you're right. I'm happy to lend an ear if there's something you want to talk about. Alright then. This isn't a new concern of mine, but it's something I was reminded of when we were introducing ourselves to your parents. Yuna and Altina have grown significantly since I first met them. And not just them. The same could be said for Ash, Musse, and all the rest of the students at the academy. They've all matured significantly in the year since we all enrolled. But then there's me. I don't feel like I've grown all that much at all. I continue to train every day, and I do feel as though I'm improving. I'm just a little frustrated by the pace. Triple dot. I think you only feel that way because you're more capable than most. What do you mean? In other words, you expect more of yourself than most people do. When you put your bar for success so high, it's only natural it's going to be harder to surpass it. That's just reality. But that makes it sound as if I've barely got any room for improvement. That's definitely not the case. It's going to be more difficult for you to make significant progress than before, but you've been overcoming that for a while. Last year you faced off against Prince Cedric and overcame many trials before that. But you weren't content to rest on your laurels. In the 6 months since, you've never stopped working to better yourself. I think you're the only one who can't see how much progress you've made. As your instructor, I know better than anyone just how much you've improved. So, have confidence in yourself, Kurt. Thank you, instructor. Of course, don't take that as me telling you to be content with how you are, and to stop trying. I wouldn't dream of it. I have no intention of slowing my pace, at least not until I've surpassed you. Wow, sounds like I have a good reason to keep bettering myself then. Well, I'm going to get going, but we have the Phoenix Wings to ourselves today. I'd recommend you take the chance to relax in the hot springs while you have it. That sounds wonderful. I might stay here a moment to collect my thoughts and then head over. No voice acting at all for him? Oh, come on. The air here is so fresh and the view is incomparable. The sky is so blue that it almost feels like I could dive straight into it. Well, I wouldn't recommend trying it. It's a long way down from up here. Suffice to say, I wasn't serious. I'm a swordsman, not a madman. A retreat into the wilderness for some training sounds interesting. That's something I've always wanted to try, with or without the accoutrements of being in the mountains. Oh my. Can we go in here? Probably not. I can't just ride the cable car down the mountain on my own. I mean, you can just do that. You don't want to, that's a different thing. Why is snow so white? Why is there hot water outdoors? Why? Tell me. Well, it's because this village is known for its hot springs. But why? Listen, weren't you about to go shopping? Oh, you're right. I'm doing Mummy's shopping for her today, so she doesn't have to. Be careful, alright? I will accompany you to the shop entrance. Mummy's shopping is a lot of hard work, so I'm doing it for her today. We need to get going right away. Phew, I'm glad I managed to get out of that one. Why? But my worries aren't at an end yet. Lady Luna's shopping expedition isn't going to be easy. Why? Tell me why. Oh, what's Ash doing there? So, anyone in particular in here No. Is there anyone upstairs? No, from the looks of it. Okay. Let's speak to the patrons. I don't know what to do with myself. Is Luna going to be okay? There's nothing to worry about. She only went out to peruse the shops. But this is her first time going shopping on her own. Eclair will be with her part of the way, right? I'm sure she'll be fine. You say that, but will she really be able to pick something nice out without me there? What if she forgets what to buy? Or pays too much or too little? I can't take it. You're such a worrywart, Helena. Luna, I hope you're okay. Maybe I should have gone with her. No. The Phoenix Wings, where we're staying, is lovely, but this pub is quite comfy as well. I suppose I'll enjoy some sweets while I'm waiting for Luna to come home. Indeed. Maybe get a cup of tea. We got lots of guests today. Looks like there are visitors other than us, Yeah, family of nobles and a strange woman. The noble party is a family of 3 and their maid. Things are getting rowdy around here. The weird lady is here by herself and apparently wants to hike up to the mountains. She looks so happy about it. I can't imagine why. You're pretty observant, Kiki. Chalk it up to years of people watching. There's not much else to do around here, so I've gotten pretty good at noticing things. Oh dear. It was especially boring up until recently because we never had any customers. But thanks to this recent influx, my eyes and ears are peeled. Alright then, Moritz. You're in! When did you get back? Just today, actually. Already hitting the source, Moritz. It's the middle of the day. And what a bright and clear day it is. It's been nothing but snow up until last week. Thankfully, it's mostly melted now. I got a drink up as a treat for getting through the whole freezing ordeal. Kinda feels like you just keep coming up with ways to excuse your constant drinking. Hey, how about sharing a bottle with me? Not really a fan of day drinking myself. Well, if you ever change your mind, you know where to find me. I'll treat you to a round to celebrate your homecoming. Yes. Well. Look who's back. Glad to see you're doing well, Reen. Likewise. You're in as good a mood as ever, Gerald. And I can see why. Got quite a few customers for this time of year. Yeah. Right after the war ended, hardly anyone was coming in. Looks like things are finally getting back to normal. Since tensions between the neighboring nations have calmed down a bit, we're getting even more guests than usual. Nothing beats times of peace. You've got that right. Now then, since you're here and all, how about I teach you one of our recipes? You mean one of your secret dishes? Are you sure about this, Gerald? Of course. You all use recipe books too, right? If you jot down one of my specials, you'll be able to prepare it whenever you want. Here, help yourself. A recipe for one of my specials and the ingredients to whip it up. Oh, thank you. The ingredients as well. Really, this is much too kind. I don't get to see you as often as I'd like, so let me at least do this much. I know you're keeping plenty busy out there, but take care of yourself and make sure you're eating right. Of course, I'll take that to heart. In any case, I'm just thrilled to see you doing well. We're doing fine as ever, as you can see. Kick back and stay a while if you like. Our only guest at the moment is a young lady from Crossbell, but folks from the Phoenix Wings have been popping in too. Not that I'm complaining about the peace and quiet. No, of course not. So we can get the tricolour on a gearing just straight out there, we'll have that. Right, let's head out and speak to Ash then. See how he's doing these days, maybe he wants to go snowboarding? What are you up to over here, Ash? Nothing much, just wandering around. But man, there sure is a lot of snow left down this way. Well, we don't generally use this path, so there's no point in removing any of the snow that builds up here. It just stays until it melts. Guess it makes sense if you got the cable car anyway. Something on your mind? Kinda. A while back I heard someone talking about a sport you can basically only do on a snowy mountain. Just can't remember the name though. Snowboarding? That's the one. Heard something about using a special board to ride all the way down to the bottom of the mountain. I figured there's gotta be enough snow here to do it, right? Though I'm thrilled that you're so interested in snowboarding, that would be a really bad idea. Why? Gonna tell me, oh Ash, most of the snow's already melted, you're gonna die a horrible death or something. Well, screw that, life's no fun without a bit of risk. To be fair, you did hear most of what I was going to say, but yeah, there's no chance I'll let you snowboard in this. Ugh, lame. If you really want to give snowboarding a try, though, you're more than welcome to come back here in the winter. I'll even teach you myself. I'd surpass you in no time flat. I'd like to see you try. I'll have you know I'm at the top of the leaderboards for every course here. Man, when you get hooked on something, you really do get hooked, huh? But don't forget, I'm from Raquel. I grew up gambling to put food on the table. There ain't a game I can't win. I'm not afraid to embarrass you on your own turf. Well, that sounds like a challenge to me. Can't wait to see who comes out on top. Just remember that you're not allowed to bet anything on the outcome unless we do it after you graduate. You and your damn rules.
I've gotten so used to spring everywhere else that the cold here's got me feeling like it's still winter. Think I might take that advice I gave to Kurt and soak in the hot spring.
You said that because I spoke to everyone. You know, Crow and Randolph both know how to work a casino pretty well. Maybe one of these days we ought to see which one of us Thor's men can bring in the biggest haul, you in? You know, why not? I can think of worse ways to blow off steam. Damn, for real? Never thought I'd see the day you'd come around to the dark side, Schwarzer. Guess pigs do fly sometimes. But only after you graduate. No gambling for you until then, understand? Should have known you were still a hard ass at heart. I'm telling you, one of these days we need to find out which of us is the best gambler. I mean, let's be real. We all know it's gonna be me, but still. Okay, so what else we got around then? Can't go in here. We'll check the church, the chapel. Hello! Nice to see you, Reen. Welcome back. It's been, what, 6 months since I last saw you? Gosh, you're right. It's good to see you, sister. Did Elise come home with you by any chance? No, not this time, unfortunately. I'm actually here on Thor's business. Wish you could have seen my sister, but I did bring my students along with me for what it's worth. Did you? That's wonderful. What's so funny? Oh, it's nothing. I was just thinking about how great it is that little Reen has grown up to be a teacher with a flock of his own. Well, when you put it like that, now I feel, sheepish. I'm so grateful for everything you did. I can only hope I do you proud, sister. Oh, that reminds me. Would you be willing to conduct a Sunday school class for the children sometime? I'm sure they would all love to learn from you. That sounds like a side quest waiting to happen. She wants me to come in for Sunday school, huh? That reminds me of a similar request I did before. Yep, as is tradition. Sure, I'd love to teach them something. I'll let you know if I have time for it. Great, no rush whatsoever. Whatever day works for you will be just perfect. I can't wait to see what wisdom you impart to the young ones. I still can't believe you're a teacher yourself these days. It's wonderful to see little Reen all grown up with a flock of his own to shepherd now. Indeed. I'm stuck on the door! Alright, mate. Bernard, Reen, I didn't realize you were back home. Even all the way up here, we've Heard all about your exploits. Everyone in the village is impressed and proud of you. You're too kind, Father. Though, to be honest, I wouldn't call what I did all that impressive. The war may have ended quickly, but it's left deep scars. There's still a lot of difficult work for the Empire to do. Perhaps, but even in just a few short months, Erebonia's recovery has made remarkable progress. Economic activity has resumed after stagnating, and bilateral relations with our neighbors have reawakened. Why, I have heard some places are even doing better than they were before the war, thanks to the disarmament. What we are seeing is a taste of peace. Peace that the people deeply desired. That's not nothing, Reen, and it must be cherished. You're right, Father. Thanks for putting it all in perspective. I needed that. Try as we might, we cannot ask to have everything back that we lost from the war. Be that as it may, people are trying to move forward and earnestly get on with their day-to-day living. What we're seeing now is a taste of peace, something we must all do our best to cherish and not take for granted. Indubitably. So, we should have just up here left now. Master Reen, it's so good to see you. Sorry for not noticing you sooner. I was just a little preoccupied. It's good to see you too. Is something bothering you? Oh, it's not a big deal, really. It's just, well, a customer at the Phoenix Wings confessed to me the other day. What? As in, romantically? That's right. He asked if I would be willing to date him. At the end of last year, a noble who came here to recuperate after the war proposed to me too. It's happened so many times lately that it's starting to wear me down a little. She's a kind, pretty woman, so I understand why she'd be popular, but that's a lot of pressure to deal with on a regular basis. And if she were to accept, the purple I've known all my life would actually leave Ymir. The passage of time is a scary thing. It can be. A few of my suitors have continued to send me letters, but I'm honestly not sure how to respond to them. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be boring you with my problems like this. I'll work this out eventually, so please don't worry about me. You'll be fine, Purple, you'll be fine. Stop exploring the village and take a dip in the hot springs? You know, we will, yeah. It looks like someone got here before me. Maybe it's Kurt? It's Claire!
Major? I'm sorry. I wouldn't have come in if I'd known you were here.
Is that you, Reen? Why don't you come into the water? You must be cold standing there. We haven't had a chance to talk in quite some time.
True. We're long overdue for a talk. Well, if you're comfortable with it, then I'd love to.
Dad mentioned how the RMP must be really busy now. How are you holding up? I mean, for me, personally, my first question would be, what's Lecter doing? You aren't overworking yourself, are you? Thank you for your concern, but please put that worry out of your mind. My work sometimes comes with unexpected benefits, like being able to visit the hot springs here, for instance. I suppose that is true. The RMP is being restructured and having its military capacity downsized at the same time, so I can't deny that I am busy. But that's true for so many others right now. I don't think I have a right to complain. What do you mean by being restructured? Does this relate to how the RMP and the Intelligence Division don't answer directly to the government anymore? Yes. Because of that, we aren't going to have the kind of freedom we used to. But I believe that we'll still be able to protect the people of Erebonia in a different way than the army, like before. I see. The RMP isn't being rolled into the army though, right? Correct. Although that possibility was being considered at one point. In the end, it didn't happen, thanks in part to General Van Dyke and Provisional Government Head Regnitz. It's not impossible that it could lead to a power struggle in the future, unfortunately. But I believe the Empire needs something with a chain of command separate from the army that can serve as a deterrent. To avoid power gathering in one place again, you mean? Exactly. THORS and its graduates, myself included, are expected to serve as another kind of deterrent as well. The reason being that the school students and teachers alike exert influence in various fields and have all kinds of connections. I see. As someone charged with helping raise the next generation of THORS students, I suddenly feel even more pressure. As you should. We're all counting on you.
By the way, Reen,
Yes?
this feels very overdue, but I wanted to thank you.
For what?
For all you did during the rivalries. For all you did for Milliam, for facing me head on, and for granting His Excellency's true wish. Mere words feel woefully insufficient given all you've done. But I also didn't want my gratitude to go unspoken.
That's very kind, but you really didn't have to. I was just doing what I wanted to do. And I couldn't have done it alone.
That's about what I expected you'd say.
Typical Reen.
This might sound kind of sappy,
Oh no.
but I feel like it was worth it all just to see you smile again.
Oh, it's incredibly sappy.
You really are oblivious to how you sound sometimes. Jokes and thanks aside, there's something I wanted to ask you too.
What is it?
Are you truly happy right now, Reen?
Of course I am. Busy, certainly. But I am happy. I still can't believe we made it through the Great Twilight. We even got Crow and Milliam back. I was hoping there was a way we wouldn't lose them, obviously. But deep down, I had already given up and braced for the inevitable. It wasn't without some goodbyes. But it's all over now. And I can still be with everyone I care about. Which includes you, of course.
At least in this world. We did see the other ending, didn't we?
The joy I feel about that hasn't gone anywhere.
I'm glad to hear that. Still, there's a difference between being happy over something and you yourself being happy. You went through a lot during the Great Twilight, including having to say farewell to your father. Despite living in fear you would disappear or lose your friends, you came out the other side with victory in hand. You, Reen, persevered to save us all. And I can believe that's made you happy, yes. As much as I can believe that happiness continues to cast a punishing shadow over you. Am I wrong?
I'm speechless. You really can see right through me. You're right. I'm still not sure how to handle the happiness I feel. I know it's there. I'm just not sure how to truly accept it. All the people who died on the first day of the war did so because I made the Great Twilight happen. Do I even deserve to be happy when they can't be? Or forgiven for what I did?
It may not be my place to say this, but I think you're the only one who can decide that.
I suppose you're right.
I know how you feel, because I'm in exactly the same position. You were concerned earlier that I might be overworking myself. For me, I'm just trying to atone for my sins by throwing myself into my work.
Major, that can't be good for...
Look who's talking.
Don't worry, I can calculate how far I can go as well as any number. I'm taking care not to cross the line into self-sacrifice. It's tempting, though. Every time I achieve something to make Erebonia's future better or see you and Milliam's smiling faces, I get a little closer to forgiving myself. It's not something I can do overnight. It's every moment I can justify forgiveness, no matter how small it is. that gets me one step closer. As long as I don't falter, I'm sure I'll be able to like myself again one day.
That's a mature way of going about it.
Far from it. I'm duplicitous to a fault.
I wonder if I
don't think my approach will work for you. You're much too sincere to go tricking yourself into feeling anything other than how you feel. I know it won't be easy for you. Just, I hope you can let yourself be happy.
Easier said than done, I'm afraid.
Maybe. But if you let it elude you forever, I'll always be one good deed short of being able to fully forgive myself.
Oh, nice approach.
What am I even supposed to say to that?
I did call myself duplicitous.
At any rate. You'll catch colds just standing around like that, you know? So they heard the whole thing. Why don't the three of you come and join us in the water? I suspected we wouldn't be able to evade your notice. For what it's worth, I did feel kind of guilty listening in. We didn't hear all of your conversation, though. Please don't worry on that account. It's on me for not watching what I said in a public place. Instructor Claire really is amazing. All I end up doing is letting our instructor listen to my problems. I couldn't possibly help with his. Even if you're just there to listen to him, that's helping. You okay, Yuna? Triple dot. I suspect she's thinking about how much she would like to wash your back. Much like I once did. As if I was thinking such a... Wait, you did what now? How untoward of you both. Listen, you aren't going to deny the allegations, I see. Listen, there was a very good reason for what happened. After Reen was taken to task for his past transgressions, Kurt and Ash came to join everyone in the spring. The group then enjoyed a relaxing time together, letting the soothing waters melt their stresses away, if only for a moment.